Do performance-enhancing drugs actually make athletes better, faster, and stronger, or is that just a stereotype that we assume to be true? Instead of banning drugs, I think we should take measures to educate athletes worldwide on the effects that these drugs can have on their bodies. The results of performance-enhancing drugs in a vast majority of sports have been spotty at best. Plus, the true toll of these drugs on your body are far greater than anything else that comes from the drug. Hard work will also be the best performance-enhancing drug. Sports under a statistical spotlight such as baseball lend themselves to being analyzed for drug use. Home runs were up in the so-called doping era in the MLB, but since then they have been on a constant decline. If our stereotype for doping was correct, then we should have seen a hard fall in this percentage, then a flatline, but that's not the case. Field events are also another great outlier. They are highly susceptible to performance-enhancing drugs because they need to be stronger to throw something like the shot put further. Yet, all the records have been set back in the 1990s and the 1980s when doping wasn't a problem in the sport. Shot put record was set in 1990. Javelin in 1984, discus in 1986, and the hammer throw also in 1986. Swimming is another outlier in our stereotype of doping because their records are constantly reset, and the sport hasn't seen a doping scandal till this 2016 Rio Olympic Games. The effects that these drugs can have on your body are way greater than the results you receive. And coaches who are forcing their athletes to take these drugs aren't warning them about the true toll it can have on your body. America is pretty well educated on this topic, but other third and second world countries, that may not be the case. Performance-enhancing drugs can lead to many permanent side effects such as hair loss, kidney disease, liver disease, heart attack, stroke, and even death. I would say death is pretty permanent. If we want people to avoid these harmful side effects, then we need to educate them. Hard work will always be the best performance-enhancing drug. Stephen Curry, Katie Ledecky, and Simone Biles are arguably the most athletic people in their respected sport. Yet, none of them have taken performance-enhancing drugs, and all of them are advocates for anti-doping. If performance-enhancing drugs were so good, then why wouldn't someone who has been caught for performance-enhancing drugs be at the top of their food chain? Also, if performance-enhancing drugs were so great, then why was the women's 100 breaststroke in the 2016 Olympics the way it was? Lily King, 19, beats Yulia, I'm not going to try to pronounce her last name because it's Russian and really hard, went neck and neck in the women's 100 breaststroke. Lily beat her by over half a second and set a new Olympic record. Half a second in an event that barely lasts a minute is a huge margin of victory. Most swimmers would also agree that you peak in your training in your mid-20s. Lily is 19, Yulia is 24, as I said before. So not only did she test positive for PEDs 2 weeks before the Olympics, she's also in her prime. So all of the effects were stacked against Lily, except for hard work, and hard work paid off in the end for Lily. In conclusion, I think instead of banning people from a sport, which mostly doesn't happen, especially in Yulia's case, because of a positive test result, I think we should start spending money on worldwide education of these drugs. Because we are just wasting money right now testing athletes and not doing anything about it. But my opinion doesn't matter. It's up to the sport federations to choose for themselves. And I just wish that the sport federations could see drugs in the spotlight that I see them.